The 40% rule. When he ran 100 miles on broken legs, David Goggins wasn't a born athlete. He was overweight, depressed, and stuck in a dead-end job spraying for cockroaches. But one day he decided to change. He wanted to become a Navy SEAL, even though he couldn't even run a mile without gasping for air. To prove to himself and others that he wasn't weak anymore, he signed up for a 100-mile ultramarathon with zero training at mile 70. He had broken several bones in his feet, his kidneys were failing, and his urine was brown with blood. Most people would have quit. Hell, most people wouldn't have even started. But Goggins remembered something. When your mind says you're done, you're only at 40%. So he taped up his feet, stood up in agony, and ran the last 30 miles. I had to learn to fight past pain, past suffering, past weakness. That's when I found out who I really was. That race changed everything. He didn't just survive it. He used it to qualify for future elite races and become the man we know today. That 100-mile run wasn't about finishing a race. It was about proving that your mind quits before your body ever does. The accountability mirror. From loser to legend as a teenager, Goggins lived a nightmare. Abused by his father, bullied at school, barely able to read, and failing at life. Every day he lied to himself, "I'm doing okay." But deep down, he knew he was running from the truth. So he started something that would change his life. He stood in front of a mirror every night and called himself out. He looked at himself, fat, insecure, broken, and said, "You're lying to yourself. You're not working. You're not pushing. You're not becoming." And then he wrote sticky notes, one by one. "You're fat. You're dumb. You cheat. You lie. Fix it." He didn't hate himself. He held himself accountable. And every day he peeled off a sticky note by changing the behavior it described. The most important conversations you'll ever have are the ones you have with yourself. That mirror became his first coach, his first enemy, and finally his first friend. Taking souls. How he broke the Navy SEAL instructor spirit during Navy SEAL Hell Week. 5+ days with almost no sleep, freezing cold, pain, and mental torment. Goggins was already battered, but he didn't just want to survive. He wanted to dominate. The instructors were breaking people one by one. That was their job. But Goggins flipped the script. In the freezing surf, while others were shivering, Goggins started laughing. The instructors yelled, "What's funny, Goggins?" He shouted back, "I thought this was supposed to be hard." He started singing, doing extra push-ups, smiling. He wasn't just surviving the beatdown, he was thriving in it. That's when he realized. You can take someone's soul by outworking them, by smiling through their hate, by enduring more than they think is humanly possible. I made them question themselves. That's power. Embrace the suck. How pain became his playground. When most people feel pain, they back off. When David Goggins feels pain, he leans in. He ran races on broken legs. He did 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours, ripping open his hands until skin hung loose like old bandages. He sat in ice water, in the cold, until his skin turned blue. Why? Because pain was his training partner. Most people run from pain. I ran toward it because I knew on the other side was something rare. Freedom. Pain is where the mind cracks, and that's where you get the chance to rebuild it stronger. Goggins turned pain into purpose. Suffering wasn't a punishment. It was his pathway to becoming the hardest man alive. Stay hard. The war doesn't end when you win. Once after he became a Navy SEAL, after he ran ultramarathons, after the book deals and fame, you'd think David Goggins would relax. He didn't. He still wakes up at 4 a.m., still runs, still works like he's broke. Why? Because he knows that success makes you soft if you let it. Every day is a war, and you don't get to retire from the battlefield of life. You don't stop when you've earned it. You stop when you're dead. To Goggins, stay hard means never forgetting where you came from, never letting comfort win, never losing the edge. Final words. David Goggins isn't superhuman. He just made a decision to stop being average, stop making excuses, and do the hard sh*t every day until it became who he was. He didn't find greatness. He created it in the fire.